We both know enough about serial killers. We can talk about serial killers, right?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not ghostly related.
It can be ghostly
It's
related.
hometown haunts. I just keep forgetting.
It could be ghostly related. You don't know.
Hi, I'd like to welcome you to our show, Hometown Haunts. I am Kurt Richardson. I am the director of the Indiana Paranormal Society. Our website is www.indianaparanormal.us. My co-host for tonight is Jennifer. She is a member of our group. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, your position in our group, what you do here?
I'm actually an officer in our group. I'm a secretary, and I take notes, and I try to help Kurt in whatever he needs help with, and I do some research when I have time.
Okay. What got you interested in the paranormal?
I've always been interested in the paranormal, and one day I found an ad for a ghost tracking group, so I just tried to show up at the meeting. It took me a couple tries, but I showed up, and I've been part of it mostly ever since.
What's some of your favorite haunted places around here? Any experiences that you had? Anything you want to talk about?
I think my favorite haunted place would have been a place in Porter County, which unfortunately is no longer there. The place was very active. No matter when you went there, you could always get activity.
What type of activity did you experience?
I experienced the orbs and the cold spots and the sounds. I experienced a lot of feelings of fear and anguish. And I also enjoyed the cemetery up in Michigan with the
Munchkin
church.
Land, that was a good one.
Munchkin Land.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
name that one.
Okay.
Yeah, the Porter County home, the one down in Valpo. We're allowed to say that one too.
Try not to name it.
That was the one that we had the 4-foot cells and the dirt floors,
Yep.
and you could see where somebody laid and tried to claw to get out of the room.
I didn't go in the basement.
I actually fell asleep in the
Yeah,
basement
you did
down
fall
there
asleep in the
and
basement.
got left.
Well,
So,
perils of the job.
oh yeah, that happens when you have no sleep before you go on a hunt.
That happens when we think it's funny. So,
Yeah.
And we took your
And that was
flashlight
also the
too.
only time I screamed like a girl. So,
And we also took his flashlight.
yeah, the batteries were dead on my camcorder, so I had no light.
Why did you scream like a girl?
I told that on another episode.
Okay, well, refresh people who didn't see the episode yet.
We were in the barn, and we have a piece of equipment called spy ears, and basically what it is, it's a glorified hearing aid. And as a director, I was by myself, walking from group to group, checking on everybody, making sure everything was still going good. And there was a group out in the barn on the second floor doing EVP in the hayloft. And I was standing on the bottom floor, and I didn't want to disturb them, so I was just trying to be quiet. With the spy ears, I could hear everything they were saying upstairs. We had just gotten a full-bodied apparition in a photo of one in the barn area, so I was taking photos and stuff down in the bottom area, and it was starting to storm outside.
Ooh.
And I had walked to the back door, and I was standing at the back door, and they asked upstairs if there's any spirits here, can you please give us a sign, can you say something, can you make a noise? Right then, the wind decided to blow really hard and slammed the door shut right in front of me.
Ooh.
And you've got to remember, I've got spy ears on, so everything is amplified 200-300 times. Needless to say, I screamed like a girl. They heard me upstairs. You heard everybody, what's that, what's that? I had to yell up there and let them know that their director just screamed. So,
Yeah. He also likes to make
it's the only
sounds
time I've ever...
in barns. That's a big thing for him.
Yeah.
He'll make some spirit sounds.
that was some good chili, though, that
Yeah.
night.
Anyway, a full-bodied apparition, for those of you who are new to ghost hunting, is actually either a scene, which is very, very rare, or a photograph of a apparition, which is a ghost that you can make out that it is a person.
The one that we got at Porter County Home was in the barn. It appeared to be a doctor. You could see his suit. You could see his head and shoulders very clearly. Looked like he had a mustache. Actually, you could see, it looked like he had a stethoscope around his shoulders, and you could see the buttons going down the front of his shirt.
And that would make sense because this was, I think, a tuberculosis hospital.
No, that was the insane asylum,
Oh,
the
okay.
poor folks' home.
It was an insane asylum or
I'll-
people's home.
It was a place that the county would put people they wanted to get rid of, homeless people,
Now we call
bums,
that
stuff
jail.
like that. Yeah.
So,
They invented a lot of stuff there. Electroshock therapy was made in there.
in Porter County?
Yeah, that's one of the founding places they were testing it. They did the hot and cold treatment where they were putting them in boiling water and then putting them in freezing cold water.
I thought that just makes you pee.
No.
I thought that take your left hand, you put it in cold, and your right hand, you put it in hot.
No, they put it in warm, and then one hand's hot and one hand's cold. It was on Mr. Wizard. I don't know.
It doesn't make you pee?
I don't know. I didn't have to.
Well, my parents, my brothers are in big trouble.
But
no wonder it didn't work at summer camp. Dang it! So.
Yeah, Porter County Home was a good place. Munchkin Land is another very active spot that we go to. A lot of stuff we get up there. We always get orbs up there. We get sounds, noises out there. It was one of the few places, again, one of the only places I've ever run from.
Yeah. But you can't run if you're knee high in snow.
No.
You pretty much gotta tread.
Yeah. We've been out there before, waist deep in snow, 4 or 5 of us, and we had to form a chain pulling each other to get us out of the cemetery.
The interesting thing about Munchkin Land is there is an iron fence, and if you are on the parking lot side of the iron fence, you don't feel anything. You step through that fence and you feel it.
And another weird thing too that we've actually traced out there is our cell phones.
Really?
When you go in, the further back you go into the back part of the cemetery, your cell phone starts dying and start losing signal. As you get closer to the front, you start picking up a signal.
That's too small of a space for...
Yeah, for something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, for it to be constant like that.
Yeah, that's very strange. It's not a huge cemetery where you're walking away from a signal tower.
Right. I mean, this thing's, small.
It's not very big. Plus,
the
there's a
other
guy
thing
that
that
lives in the back that offers us beer. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Which we don't take because we do not drink on investigations or hunts. Because if the cops catch you drinking, you're going to jail. So just know that don't be doing that.
The other thing, too, out there is the camcorder that we had, the battery would die the further you got back and would actually charge itself as you get closer to the road. So...
It's very
active out there.
Active. Right now they're redoing the church. We don't know what they're going to do with it, but we're hoping that they will allow us to help with the restoration of the cemetery.
What I'm planning on doing is, I believe, the beginning of April, the first weekend in April, they got posted as a cleanup day. I'm going to set that up for our group to go up there and help them clean up that area.
Okay.
Pick up some tombstones, all the broken stuff they got up there. Do whatever we can to help them out. Maybe we can actually get into the basement area and inside the church itself.
That's kind of our community service. Is we'll take a cemetery that's kind of been neglected over time and mow the grass and try to clean the headstones and try to make it presentable. Even though the people that are buried there might not have family anymore, a lot of cemeteries we visit have very old stones. We feel that it's respectful for them, and hopefully they'll talk to us more if we mow the grass and just
It's just good for our name. I mean, we're real big in the community. We want to keep our name good in the community. If we're at a hunt or investigation, we see trash on the ground or something, we'll pick it up. We
don't throw trash on the ground.
No.
We don't be disrespectful to the people that are buried in any cemetery.
Nope.
Especially when they sell them here.
The other things that we do, every Memorial Day, we're part of the Memorial Day parade for the town. So we're always trying to help out that way.
I just remember when I told us to put white sheets on our head.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's another show. You missed it. You'll have to watch the replays or next week's episode or whatever.
When we did the Memorial Day parade, I said we should put white sheets on our head and go as ghosts. And they all started laughing. And they were like, why? And it didn't occur to me that
this is
we're in
South Bend. You don't want to do that.
And they're just like, you go ahead, you put a sheet on your head, and you walk down the home. Didn't even think about it, I live real close to there now.
What other places have you been to that's really haunted that you got a lot of activity at?
The school.
The school, yeah.
Is extremely haunted. Everybody's had experiences there, and unfortunately, we're not releasing the name of that location due to owner's request.
Yeah, the owner's request.
Do not email us because we are not going to tell you.
Nope.
So we respect our hunts and our investigations privacy. If they ask us not to release information, we don't. There's been many times when a group will release something in the media, and unfortunately, it gets destroyed, or then it gets patrolled, and then nobody can go. And so.
If you're planning on going out to a haunted location, go out, a cemetery thing, just remember that most cemeteries now close at dusk. What you're going to want to do is you want to contact the local police department. Let them know who you are, what you're going to be doing. Most of the time, they don't have a problem with you being out there. Sometimes they'll ask that you contact the trustees. That can easily be found online. If you look up the cemetery, they normally have a list of who the trustee is and the contact number for them. Always get permission before you go out on a hunt. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to go to jail, get tickets or anything like that. A lot of places are now issuing trespassing tickets for it.
And also in ghost hunting, it's extremely important that you never ghost hunt alone.
Right. Always have a friend. Always carry a cell phone. Let people know where you're going.
for not just, for spirit reasons, for safety reasons. It's very easy to fall in these places over a tombstone and hurt yourself. It's also possible that someone could be in the cemetery or around there and see you going by yourself and may not be a very pleasant person. And so you may get into trouble that way. But just there's vines on the ground. There's stuff you can trip over. There's stuff you can hit your head. Never go alone.
Never go alone. Always keep your car keys with you. Don't leave anything in the car. We've heard of other groups that's actually had their car stolen while they're at the cemeteries. Luckily, they got it back a couple days later, but the locals decided it'd be fun to go take their car out for a little joyride while they're up at the cemetery. If possible, go there during the day, scout out the area, see what it looks like. Notice any hazards or anything that you could see. Watch out for